How's it going, everyone? We're going to take a look at the Nendoroid of Raihan, or Kibana is his Japanese name. His name actually probably in English is going to be pronounced as Raihan, but I prefer to call him Raihan because I know that as a real name. In terms of character, though, I have covered this Raihan from Pokemon Sword and Shield as the Figma that came out a few months ago, last year sometime it was now. So check out my channel for that one. I really did like that figure. That was very cool. But for this particular Nendoroid, I got this one from CDJapan for about 7,700 yen, which works out to be about £50 or 65-ish US dollars, something like that. That includes shipping as well. And I believe this one actually I know for sure this one is a general release, so I think a lot of the Figmas tend to be Pokemon Center only purchases. You have to get it from there, officially speaking. This one, you could actually just walk in or go to a retailer in Japan and pick this up, so that was good. I can't remember, though, if this had a Pokemon Center exclusive bonus to it, though. So if you bought it from Pokemon Center Japan, if that had a bonus. If it did, it's probably going to be something like the Rotom phone. I'm not 100% sure. I'll double check that after I've filmed this video, and I'll mention it on screen too. But otherwise, in terms of Nendoroids, this is a pretty standard packaging for it. It's a little bit wider because you get Raihan as a character, plus you get his partner Pokemon Duraludon as well. And then you can kind of see a little bit of what he comes with. So the Rotom phone, a hand, and you get a slight glimpse of the two faceplates down there. If you want to keep it sealed, though, this is pretty good to do. Otherwise, the packaging is pretty similar to most other Nendoroids out there, just kind of emblazoned with a lot of poses and stuff of the characters down the sides, back and bottom and top. But what I did like about this actually is that it's white and orange, the color scheme that he kind of wears, plus the Duraludon color scheme. And it's quite similar to the Figma one at the same time. So although this has got a gloss finish, the Figma one was matte, which I like. I mean, it's such a minor thing. I wouldn't have demanded it or anything. But if I were to be collecting both this Nendoroid and the Figma, which I have in this case, it's nice, right? It's going to be consistent look if you're going to have the package on display too. Minor thing, but I like it. But let's get this open and see what the figure is all about. And here he is, Raihan with Duraludon, and the option parts as well. We'll go through the option parts and then we'll go to the figure. Skip ahead if you just want to see the figure. So first with the option part is of course the base stand that most Nendoroid stands come with. The base itself is pretty typical of every other Nendoroid figure that's out there. And then you get this arm bit here that plugs into the back of the figure, which is on the hexagonal end bit there. And then this thinner arm is to actually plug into the Rotom phone. So that's just to have him kind of giving that hovering effect. Speaking of that Rotom phone, this is what it looks like here. It's a very tiny little piece, so try not to lose it. It's not bad. I mean, it's very simple in the way it's designed. It's got a gloss finish on it, and then it's got the Rotom features on the back side. So it's got the landscape orientation here, and then you just plug that into that thin stand here. Personally, I don't like these thin stands. Like, from what I've experienced in previous Nendoroids, they've all been the same thin stand. The articulation on that is not that great. Like, there'll be certain angles I won't be able to achieve that great with this one. But I mean, it's a Rotom phone. There's not going to be so much use for it, for me personally, but it is there. Moving on to the hands, Raihan comes with one thumbs up for the left hand. You can see there's no glove on this one, or it's a thumbs down depending on your perspective. You can see it's got that same tanned flesh tone, and then that's matched again here with another left hand, and this is just going to be a single waving type of hand. You can see there, or slapping, I don't know, but you get one per left hand. You don't get a right hand of those. The right hand you do get as an alternative here is going to be one holding the Rotom phone, this time in a portrait orientation there. You can see, and then you can see also the glove hand there, plus his Dynamax band, which is not really that detailed. It's very, very simple, really simple, but the glove details are not bad. You can see the bare thumb that pokes out right there as well. But otherwise, yeah, the Rotom phone itself is also quite simple. It's got that same sort of gloss finish that you might have noticed that is on the Figma as well. Then he comes with two arms, and these actually have hands attached to them, but you can detach the hands. So both of these are slightly bent, or quite bent actually, at the elbows, and these plug into the shoulder part of the figure. So this one is going to be R2 for his right arm, and then L2 you can see there for his left arm, and these kind of have that scrunchy look to them, the more intense looking hands, and both again for the right hand, which is gloved, and the left hand, which is bare. You can take, for both arms, you can take the hand off and you can swap it to the other hand if you want to. You can mix and match quite a bit with this, so it makes it quite nice, and you can make up your own configuration with this for your own display, but this is how it will come out of the box, so that's quite cool. And then finally he comes with a shoulder piece, and this is actually only for his left arm. So for example, what you gotta do, swap the left arm there, we'll show you that later, and then you can just add this arm at the end right here. The main difference really, if you can't see it already, is just going to be the cut. So this is a straight cut, so his arm will poke out more, whereas the one already attached to him is a more diagonal cut, so his arm's facing downwards, so it'll be how you can see it on the figure there. So you only get one one for the left arm, which is a bit, I don't know, having both of them would have been better. I don't know why they only give it for the left arm. And then we move on to the faces that Raihan comes with, which is one of my favorite parts of a lot of Nendoroids, because I really like seeing what kind of expressions that they come out with. So on the left side, you've got him with both eyes closed with your smile eyes, which I absolutely adore. I love it when people have smile eyes. I don't know, I just feel like the smile is much more genuine and earnest there. I love it myself. So this reaction or expression here is really cool. And the fact that he's got an open mouth with that toothy grin or toothy smile is awesome. I love that. And then of course, yes, he does have both ears pierced with the gold studs. And then you can see his sideburns, kind of shaved sideburns on both sides too. And that's going to be applied also on this other alternate head, those features too. But this time the actual expression is going to be one eye closed, giving a winking look. But still he's got the mouth open, which is nice. So again, side by side here, you can see. So this one's much more of a laughing one, and this one's more of a cheerful grin. So the actual mouth bit is slightly different, but you still got that awesome tooth there. So really like both faces. Then we'll go on to the Pokemon Duraludon. To be honest, I'm not sure if I'll call this the partner Pokemon or the option part, but it is his Pokemon, so I think it deserves that kind of respect, let's say. So this is just a chibi version or an Nendoroid form version of his Pokemon. And we've seen these a few times now with some of the other Pokemon characters as Nendoroid forms as well. It's a little bit weird to say it with Duraludon, sorry, is that I don't really see a difference in proportions that much. It looks pretty much the same. For example, if you have a look at Giovanni and Mewtwo definitely looks like his proportions have been squashed down a bit and miniaturized for this Nendoroid form. With Duraludon, he looks a lot like how he would. He's just kind of like, you know, you just kind of shrunk it down to size and no proportion change. But I could be wrong there. But it looks good. It is made quite well as well. I really love the gloss finish on it. It's very lightweight, by the way. It's super lightweight. It's quite similar to the Figma one as well in that lightweight respects, and definitely not like the Scale World one. But I like it. The overall finish on this is very nice. It does have some articulation points though. It can move its arms up and down, both of the arms pretty much the same direction, and then the same applies to its legs or feet. What I will say though with the legs is you can kind of see that joint bit there, or that line there, and that where that meets the main body bit. Just when you do it, I would say pull it out just a tiny bit, just a smidgen, just so if you've got it too close and it's touching, maybe over time you may end up getting kind of like a ring circle by just moving it too much. I got a little bit of a blemish on mine there. You can clean that. It cleans off quite easily as well because it's such a smooth finish. The only non-smooth finish is going to be this chest bit here or stomach bit for Duraludon, which is normal for this Pokemon. But yeah, it's very nice finish. Only limited articulation there, but I really like the way it looks. It is lightweight as I mentioned, but otherwise it does capture the main kind of look and appearance of Duraludon. Maybe it is in the Nendoroid form, but yeah, I'm just not truly memorizing the original kind of proportions of this Pokemon. But I like it. It looks good. It's a nice Pokemon for him. It's not my favorite Pokemon that he has. I mean, was it Gudra? I think would have been quite good as well. But, you know, that's the one he has in Sword and Shield, and it's the one that you usually pair up with him, whether it's TCG, the Figma, and all sorts. So, you know, it's fine. It looks good. I'm used to it by now. But that brings us to the main attraction for a lot of people, which is going to be the character or the gym leader itself. So this is Raihan, or Kibana is his Japanese name, and this is the Nendoroid version of this character. Remember, there is a Figma of this character as well that I have covered, and that was a great figure by the same company, and that was a great figure. So here we can see pretty much all his features are captured, right? That's the main thing. First, they all captured. So you've got his cap hat thing that he's wearing, which is a really nice, bright, vivid orange. It's super vivid orange. It might maybe a bit too orange in the camera. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to turn out. I'm always a bit sus on that, but it's definitely vivid orange in person. So not just the hat, wherever there's orange on this body, it's going to be quite vivid. The orange reminds me a lot like the soft indoor cricket balls, if you guys ever played that in school. I'm British, so of course I had to play cricket sometimes, but that's what it reminds me of. But it's nice. It's a very nice cap. You've got the kind of the detailing there, the strap bit there, and then his hair is looking okay. You don't see much of his hair, to be quite honest. Unlike the Figma, these bits or strands don't articulate at all. They look like they do, but they don't. I mean, none of them really move. They have some flex to it, but they don't articulate. What I will say though is just be careful how you handle it in case they kind of snap or something. I'm assuming they're just going to be on little pegs stuck inside the head, and that's it. But I'm just, yeah, always a bit concerned with that. Moving on to his facial features, which is quite nice. You can see he's got his nice green eyes, both of them open in this expression. One's slightly closed. This one's slightly less open than the left one. Very, very slight. And he's still got that nice big toothy grin, this time with a closed grin mouth. And it looks great. It looks great. Really like it. Again, you've got the sideburns going out, and both the ears are studded or pierced with the gold studs. And then for his hoodie, you've got the actual hood bit here, which is separated. You can take that off. And then that's kind of got the toothy bits around there. The toothy bits kind of look a little bit rough. The odd tooth looks a bit rough, but nothing too noticeable once you've got it actually naturally on display at a further distance. And then you've got these little tassels here. These tassels pretty much are just kind of pegged in, you might say. This one comes off a little bit for me here, just to illustrate that a bit. It's a bit tricky to get in there. This one was a bit more firm, but hopefully if it does come out, just plug it back in. It shouldn't break, fingers crossed. And then going down to the rest of his jacket, which is nice as well, you got the actual front belly bit is awesome. It's got a gloss type finish to it, whereas you can see the rest is like a matte, the shoulder area and kind of towards his chest. And once it comes to the belly, it's got this gloss finish. I don't recall that on the Figma actually. I might have to go back and check that one, but yeah, that's cool stuff there. So that actually kind of goes around to the end of the hoodie too. It's all gloss finish, you can see. And then you got the little orange accents. As I said, they're very vivid orange too. With this hand, or these hands, you can see he's got little fists on them. One being without the glove, and then the other one with the glove. And then the thumb being visible too. The Dynamax band is also quite plain here too. And then we come down to his shorts, which are very cool as well. Shorts have the decals on them. Hopefully you guys can see that. They're not going to be ultra clear. You may need to get a magnifying glass to kind of read what's on the actual banner strip bit here. I definitely can't make out the characters, as in if they're accurate or not. They probably are, but in such minor, minuscule scale. And then yeah, you've got the 241 here, and then that logo there as well. So pretty decent transfer for such tiny little decals, right? But yeah, the shorts look pretty good. And then he's got bare legs there. And then coming down finally to his sneakers, you can see there he's got a similar kind of pattern or design to his hoodie. So you got a little white tassel bit there. They're just painted on pretty much. And then you got the gloss yellow bit there. And then the underside is going to be a nice vivid orange with, oh, nice grips actually. I didn't notice that. Nice grip detail there. That's pretty cool. Nice pattern. So that's how the Nendoroid Raihan looks, and it looks pretty good. I'm very satisfied with it. I think it's great, and he's very, very photogenic. Articulation then is going to be a little bit limited, but that's the nature of Nendoroid. He can move his head down a tiny bit, up ever so slightly there. If you want, you can probably jut out his neck a bit and just kind of get a little bit of range of motion, but then the head might fall off, so just kind of play with that. He doesn't really have tilt, but again, depending on how you jut that out and angle the head, it can kind of look like a slight tilt to the head, which is cool. It can give a cool effect. Arms go up and down and around, but the hoodie might get in the way. He's got the bicep cut there, which you can then do for the other arm as well. The twist at the hand, he does have twist at the torso here, you can see, and then twist at the upper leg there. My leg's falling off, but that's going to show you it's twist there, and he can kick his legs up and slightly back. Wider is better for him. See the splits there, like so. Nothing at the foot though, so that entire twist actually is all the way at the knee. So yeah, nothing at the foot, and that's his articulation. Very limited, but you know, that's no surprise with Nendoroids really at this point. But it's nice. There's enough to kind of get some cool poses out, and hopefully I can illustrate and demonstrate that at the end of the video too. On to swapping parts. So we're going to swap his hair piece first, or face piece first. So to do that, you got to take off the front of the hat. Now this is the bit I don't like too much with this particular figure, just because these strands, I'm always worried about them, so I kind of have to hold on to like his ear, roughly speaking, and then the other side is going to be quite similar there. Maybe one finger ever so slightly resting on the top strand here, but otherwise, yeah, just kind of pull away, but try and be careful of these back hair strand pieces. Once you got it free, you can take off the face piece here. It will kind of touch and skim the tooth, so over time I'm totally expecting the underside of his chin to have some hairline scratches there. What you could do instead is just yank off the head, and then once you do that, the hoodie becomes released like so. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, yes. And then you can see his shirt as well. So he does have his shirt and the tie design onto the upper body. You just don't really see it once the hoodie is on. But going back to his head, you can then put his alternate face expression on. I'm going to go with the smiles, that's what it's called. Attach that on and then replace and put back on the top cap bit. Like so. Again, watching the back hair strand piece. Get the hoodie back as well once, because we took that off. And then plug that back in. So there, we've got him with his smiles. What is the smiling face? The one that I really like. One of my favorite facial experience. Sorry, this is one of my favorite facial expressions on humans by a long shot. Like, I love this expression. Like, it just makes me drop my guard. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but it makes me drop my guard. Whether it doesn't matter who does it, I'm just like, oh, that's nice. It just seems so sincere. So that's his swapped face. See, I'm even like stuttering and slowed down because of this expression that Raihan's got, right? It's made me drop my guard and focus. So that's the expression for Raihan there. Let's swap an arm as well. Now, we could swap the hand, but let's just swap the arm. Actually, we'll swap the left arm just to show you the actual difference in this cut. So you saw actually here, the right arm is going to be the default, like the one on the left. And then that one additional shoulder piece he comes with for the left arm, you can see then it pulls his arm out to the side. And it looks good. I do like it. It's just weird that they only gave you one. Technically, I guess you could use that on the right arm if you wanted to. But it's still, again, you've only got one, so you can't do two arms at the same time. So it's a bit weird that they do that sometimes. So here he's got the intense hands attached there. And I'm going to just change that. I'm going to change that to the thumbs up one. Because why not? So that's just simple. Just pull it out and plug it back in. It's really that simple with these Nendoroids. His head's just feeling a bit wobbly, so I'm going to push that back in as well. There we go. Thumbs up to you guys there by Raihan. And that's all there is to swap with this guy. You can swap it for the Rotom phone on his right hand, sorry, if you want to as well. And then plugging it into the base stand, we can quickly do that too. Just line them up to the peg, and there we go. And that's it, really. Quite simple to do. Once you've got that done and kind of finessed and perfected, you can throw in Duraludon there. He stands pretty easy on his own. And then go ahead, take some pictures, take some videos, and share it to your friends. Of course, you can change the faces again if you want to. And because of the kind of arm configuration, hand configurations, you can mix and match to your liking and however you want to display it on your own shelf. Overall, I really like this Nendoroid. I've had a fun time playing around with it and taking photos of it. Swapping parts was pretty easy to do for the most part too, and not very frustrating Nendoroid at all. Only thing I would maybe add to him is a bent leg. That's something I do like to have, just to add a little bit of in-motion kind of look to my figures when I pose them. But it's not a deal breaker here by any means. Plus a Pokeball. A Pokeball would have been handy, like the Ultra Ball would have been handy here, but he didn't come with one. That's a bit weird, actually, now that I think about it. But I do love his facial expressions and the face plates. Those are awesome. I love that every single one depicts that single tooth. That vampire tooth is so cool. I love it to bits. And of course, the full smiley expression with the eyes closed. I really, really like that. So that's a nice touch too. So for Raihan, great looking figure. For Duraludon, you know what? Also a great looking figure. I don't know if I liked Duraludon in the Figma release as much as I do here. I really like this little guy here. His finish is super nice, super clean. He's a lightweight figure. He might not have much articulation, but that is Duraludon. I don't think we're going to get much from him, but he's very coolly done here. So really nice for the Duraludon figure here. Overall, though, very nice package. It is a bit expensive, but that's Nendoroids for you. But it is also easier to get than a lot of other Pokemon Nendoroids out there. So if you are a big Raihan fan, then consider picking it up if you can get it for a good price. And with all that said, I want to thank you for joining me in checking out the Nendoroid of Raihan from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Check out my channel for more, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video, whatever that's going to be. Stay safe, stay healthy.